Is this on? Are we on? Are we on the internet? I think we're on the internet. Yes, I think we're good. Hello, America. This is President Donald Trump. I want to tell everyone that the Minneapolis mayor is a total loser. He's trying to overcharge me for security. I should not have to pay for security. I've never stiffed any cities on security because I shouldn't have to pay for it. I got a letter, believe me. I got a letter from the police. All the police. I love the police so much, but I shouldn't have to pay for them because I got a letter from them and they said, President Trump, first of all, thank you for making America great again. That's what they said. Believe me, folks. They said, thank you for making America great again. You are an orange god, and we want to work for free for you. That's what they said to me. That's what they said to me in a letter. They said, we don't want you to pay us. And I said, okay, I won't pay you then. So I should not have to pay for security anywhere. Jacob Frey, the loser mayor from Minneapolis, trying to get me to pay, saying I need to pay. I don't need to pay. And believe me, folks, Jacob Frey also loves me. Sent me a letter, said, please come, President Trump. Please come to Minneapolis. Here in Minneapolis, we love you even more than we love snow. And this is Minneapolis, folks. They have a lot of snow. That's what they do there, a lot of snow. I have the best snow. I make the best snow. I have all the best snow. Always had the best snow. The government does control the weather, and we've had more alien encounters than we're telling you about. This has been the president. Now back to whatever the hell show this is. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer curated streaming news show. That was Donald Trump. You know, I don't agree with Donald Trump on pretty much anything, but when the president of the United States wants to come on your show, I mean, how do you say no to that, right? I mean, you got to be like, okay. I mean, I guess he didn't say what he wanted to come on for, but he was rambling about Minneapolis. So I guess, I guess that's what his issue is. He doesn't think he should have to pay for security. All right. Well, that's that. Here's something, guys. This is what we're leading with today. So yesterday, Liz Warren said that she wasn't going to take corporate money, basically. She said she wasn't going to have the big donor dinner. She wasn't going to have big donor money, even if she is the campaign, even if she is the nominee in the general. If she ends up winning the primary, she's still not going to do it. And a bunch of people were like, that's awesome. That's great that she's doing this. Others were a bit more cautious because, as I like to say, the only thing consistent about Elizabeth Warren is that she'll be saying something different next week. Well, turns out I was being a bit too generous because she said this yesterday. Yesterday was when she said she's not going to take the big donor money. Yesterday. And a bunch of people, oh man, she's a true progressive. This is great. She's going to be honest. She's going to be genuine. We're going to hold her accountable. Well, guess what happened today? Already, her campaign clarifies a little bit. Let's check out this article here. Elizabeth Warren's campaign clarifies she'll raise big dollar money for the party as nominee. Womp, 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 womp. Not even a week, one day. Just like when she was asked about the Joe Biden thing, where she changed her mind in real time. Wasn't even sure what to say. Hey, would it be okay if your kid sat on a foreign board where they did nothing? No. Wait a second. I have to think about it. You guys remember that clip? Wait a second. I have to think about it. I have to review it. So is it or is it not appropriate? I have to review it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say here. I don't know what the DNC has ordained appropriate to say in this situation because we're supposed to pretend that Biden's not corrupt. Elizabeth Warren has a history of doing that where she'll get the answer right and then she'll be like, oh, wait. The establishment doesn't want me to say that. Like, hey, Liz Warren, would you say the primary was rigged for Hillary Clinton? Yes. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Hold up. Wait. Remember that? Remember when she actually told the truth for a second? Said that it was rigged against Bernie Sanders, then backpedaled. Well, here she is doing it again. I'm not going to take the big donor money. Just kidding. Let's see what's going on here. Elizabeth Warren's quote sent shockwaves through the political campaign finance world. If she became the nominee, she said, this is what she said yesterday when my problem seemed so far away. She said she would refuse to attend big dollar fundraisers for her campaign and possibly also for the party. Her comments came in an interview with CBS News. So here's the quote from that. CBS News said, can you guarantee your supporters that under no circumstance, no matter how much money Donald Trump is raising, you will not take big dollar? I'm not going to take big dollar fundraisers. I'm just not going to do it. Those are Liz Warren's words. I'm not going to do the big dollar fundraisers. I'm just not going to do it. By the way, keep in mind, in 2016, one of the candidates outspent the other 2-1, and it was Hillary Clinton outspending Donald Trump 2-1, and she still lost. Although Hillary Clinton doesn't realize that. I'm sure you guys saw the video. Hillary Clinton said, I believe it was yesterday, that maybe it's time for a rematch. I could beat him again. That's what she said about Donald Trump. Apparently, she doesn't know how the Electoral College works. Apparently, she doesn't realize she didn't actually win. And, watching Hillary Clinton, by the way, watching Hillary Clinton act like she's going to call Trump's bluff. Because I was surprised that Donald Trump was calling out Hillary Clinton to run again. But the only reason I was surprised is because I didn't realize Donald Trump wanted to keep his job. I thought he was done with this. I don't think he ever wanted to be president in the first place. I think he's over it. But apparently, if he's calling out Hillary Clinton, he wants to win again because he knows he'll beat her. And watching Hillary Clinton act like she's going to call the bluff where she's like, yeah, maybe it is time for a rematch. That's like watching somebody sit at a blackjack table and go all in when you know that they're holding nothing. You know they got no hand, they got no chance, but they go all in anyway. Except it's not just their personal finances that are at stake. It's the freaking world. There's a high stake that goes beyond Hillary Clinton. But anyway, all right. So yesterday, Warren said, I'm not going to do the big dollar fundraisers. I'm just not going to do it. Let's see here. But in a statement to NBC News, the Warren campaign clarified that the candidate would indeed attend high-dollar events for the party where individuals can donate tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, though not for the campaign, where the maximum party and general election donation is a combined $5,600. Here's what the campaign said. When Elizabeth is the Democratic nominee for president, which hopefully doesn't happen, by the way, she's not going to change a thing in how she runs her campaign. That means no PAC money, no federal lobbyist money, no special access or call time with rich donors or big dollar fundraisers to underwrite her campaign. When she is the nominee, she will continue to raise money and attend events that are open to the press to make sure the DNC, state and local parties, and Democratic candidates everywhere have the resources not just to beat Donald Trump, but also to win back Congress and state legislators all across the country. The distinction might open up Warren to charges of hypocrisy. Why refuse to attend high-dollar fundraisers for your campaign, but gladly attend them for the party? I know why. Because that way you can appear to be a certain candidate to the people. You can appear to be what the people want and beholden to the working class and beholden to regular people and be an outsider, but you're still on the inside, baby. You're still doing the big dollar thing. You're just kind of putting a nice little mask on it because it's under the guise of the party. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Because even the Democrats realize we're in an outsider time. This is an outsider era in politics. Donald Trump sold the lie that he was an outsider. He's not. It's just throughout most of his life, he was the person buying the politicians. Now he's just the dude being bought. That's the only way he's an outsider. He's not an outsider at all. But people bought that lie. People bought the lie that he was. And they went for it because they were desperate in a lot of cases. So the other outsider who did pretty well was Bernie Sanders. People were tired with the status quo. They were tired with Washington corruption as usual. That's why Bernie Sanders came out of nowhere and would have won the primary had he not been cheated. Won 22 states anyway, despite getting screwed by the superdelegates. And the thumb was on the scale for Hillary Clinton out the gate. So we're in an outsider time, and that's why when Democrats ran the most establishment candidate maybe in the history of the party, they lost. So they want to paint Liz Warren as this outsider, but she isn't. She isn't, and she changes with the way Liz Warren changes her stance more than an average person changes a pair of socks. And the other big thing here, she does not, if she can't stand up to a question from Chris Matthews about Medicare for All, a BS right-wing framed question on Medicare for All from Chris Matthews, if she can't stand up to that, if she can't push that back on him and say, Chris, why are you using Fox News framing about Medicare for All? Why are you using something that you know is a misleading, misdirected talking point, telling people their taxes are going to be raised, when in reality, they're going to be paying less for their health care. They're just going to be paying the government instead of an insurance company. Why are you doing that? Why are you misleading your own viewers? The fact that she couldn't put that fire out, which Bernie Sanders has done many times, what makes you think if she can't do that, if she can't even go on Fox News, she's going to boycott it as if that proves anything? If she can't stand up to Donald Trump calling her out to take a DNA test and then she does it and humiliates herself, which, by the way, she was making these claims about being Native American, then she didn't show up for DAPL. If she can't stand up to these basic things, on these basic for instances, what makes you think she'll be able to stand up to a bully like Donald Trump in the general? She won't. The debates will be a shit show. She'll probably beat him in the debate, speaking strictly objectively from a debate standpoint. She would probably beat him in the debates, but he'll get all the sound bites that he needs. She won't effectively stand up to him, and she'll go on to lose the election because people respond to strength. That's what general voters respond to. They respond to strength. They respond to people having convictions about things. So when Elizabeth Warren is like, oh, look, Medicare for All is just a concept, kind of. Yeah, that doesn't connect with people. But when Bernie Sanders stands behind it, dismisses the propaganda around it, says why it's better, he gets a standing ovation on Fox News. He gets applause when he talks about Medicare for All. People want ideas and they want strength. And Liz Warren, she doesn't know what she stands for. Or she wants to just kind of please everybody, and in doing so will please nobody. She certainly won't win progressives. She certainly won't win unlikely voters. I mean, that's another thing about all these Democratic establishment candidates. Not one of them will win one unlikely voter. Liz Warren, as it stands now, there is not one person who probably wasn't planning on voting who will go and vote now because of Liz Warren. And those are the people we need. We need those people. We need the unlikely voters to go out and vote to beat Trump. You know who can get those unlikely voters? Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, even an Andrew Yang to some extent. Because those are candidates who are leading with ideas. And, I mean, I don't agree with all the ideas, especially when it comes to Andrew Yang, but you see the difference. So Liz Warren, one day, all it took, one day, she's changed her mind now. She will attend those big donor dinners. Just kidding. Again, the only thing consistent about Elizabeth Warren is that she'll be saying something different the following week, or in some cases, the following day. And, you know, I always say that people can change. That, you know, there's nothing more toxic than not allowing somebody to change. But there's a difference between having a genuine change and just kind of flip-flopping in the wind because you're trying to appease everybody and you're trying to appear to be something you're not. Liz Warren is an insider candidate. She's an establishment-approved candidate. And she would go on to lose to Donald Trump. for all the reasons I just mentioned. The fact that she does not have any convictions on ideas, the fact that she does not know how to hold herself in a situation like, I mean, if you can't stand up to Chris Matthews, you're not going to be able to stand up to Donald Trump, period. She'll lose to Trump. And then when it happens, progressives will get blamed. But anyway, yep, she'll be doing it with a lot of money, though. She'll be doing it with big donor money. When she loses to Trump, she'll do it with big donor money. All right. So here's something concerning Donald Trump. Wesley shares this. Wesley, thank you for sharing this. Donald Trump, much like all the presidents in recent history, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump is carrying on the legacy that the office holds dear of completely demonizing whistleblowers. That's a tradition in the office of the presidency. George W. Bush did it, and presidents before, but, we're talking recent history. Barack Obama did it. Barack Obama, it was shameful the way Obama treated whistleblowers. He did, of course, pardon Chelsea Manning after torturing her for 6 years. But Donald Trump is continuing the tradition of being completely ridiculous when it comes to whistleblowers. Here's something from Common Dreams. As impeachment swirls, Trump vows continued crackdown on whistleblowers after arrest of intelligence analysts. Amid a swirling fight over an impeachment inquiry launched by House Democrats following the revelations provided by a government whistleblower, the Trump administration announced its intention to continue its war on leakers on Wednesday after a counterterrorism analyst was arrested on federal charges for allegedly sharing classified information with two journalists in 2018 and 2019. Accused is Henry Kyle Freese, a 30-year-old U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency employee. And they're saying he may have been romantically involved with one of the journalists. All right, so here's what's going on from ABC. Hours after Freese searched a classified government computer system, he talked with two journalists. About a half hour into the conversation, the first journalist published an article with top secret national defense information in a news outlet, according to the indictment. In September 2019, Freese talked with the second journalist on his cell phone and provided secret classified national defense information. The conversation was monitored by court-authorized surveillance of his cell phone. Freese was caught red-handed disclosing sensitive national security information for personal gain. This is according to the Assistant Attorney General for National Security. Freese betrayed the trust placed in him by the American people, a betrayal that risks harming the national security of this country. This is one of 6 unauthorized disclosure cases the department has charged in just over 2 years, and we will continue our efforts to punish and deter this behavior. Man, isn't that Orwellian doublespeak? You betrayed the American people by revealing secrets and information to them. You betrayed them. You betrayed them. They're supposed to be kept in the dark. You betrayed your fellow countrymen by doing what? By exposing information, by exposing corruption. That's a betrayal of the American people. We want to be kept in the dark. We want to not know what's going on. We want to just watch American Idol and go back to bed. That's what we want to do. Why are you giving us this information? It's hurting our brains. Why are you disclosing? Human rights lawyer and whistleblower. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me get you guys back to the article too here. Human rights lawyer and whistleblower Jesselyn Ruddock on Twitter said that Freese's indictment was more evidence of the Trump administration's chilling message to the intelligence community. Trump's chilling message to the intelligence community whistleblowers. Yeah, it's not to the intelligence community as a whole. It's to the whistleblowers. Not to everyone in the intelligence community. It's the whistleblowers. Because keep in mind, the intelligence community also hates whistleblowers too. Trump's chilling message to the intelligence community, whistleblowers. If you go through internal channels, you're a spy. If you go to the press, you'll be indicted as a spy. Wesley, thank you for sharing this. Just another, for instance, it's one big club. It's one big club. The intelligence agency, presidents come and go, government officials come and go, but the intelligence agency, they're there. They're running the show. If they don't like something, they get rid of it. And Democrats cooperate with all this, and Republicans cooperate with all this. And if you're a whistleblower, if you're a truth teller, if you're a publisher of information whistleblower shares, you're a bad guy. That's betrayal. That's corrupt. You're the problem. And then sometimes, we give you this facade that some whistleblowers are okay, some are not. Everybody is, over on the Democrat side, on the Adam Schiff side of the coin, they're praising the whistleblower who's blowing the whistle on Donald Trump right now. But, they're pretty quiet when it comes to Edward Snowden or Chelsea Manning. They're pretty quiet when it comes to what's going on with Julian Assange. And Donald Trump completely demonizing of whistleblowers. Some people actually thought he wasn't going to be, but everybody knew. Other people knew. He's a snake oil salesman. He's going to be demonizing of whistleblowers just like Obama was, just like Bush was, because it's one big club. It is one big club. So there you go. Whistleblowers, no friend of the Trump administration, to the surprise of nobody. So we got an election coming up, and here's some news from Tulsi Gabbard's campaign. Now, this is interesting. This video is surfacing this morning. We'll watch it straight from Tulsi's Twitter. Let me back it up here and get it ready for y'all. And Edwin shares this. Edwin, thank you for sharing this. So Tulsi Gabbard is considering boycotting the next debate. The next debate is coming up. It's on Tuesday, October 15th. Tulsi Gabbard did not make the third debate. She did make this debate. Now, unfortunately, I guess it's kind of good and bad because they were going to break the debate into 2 nights. And the concern when that happens is that they're going to keep certain candidates off the stage when other candidates are on the stage. Like they're going to try to make sure, like I remember in the first debate, they made sure that Warren and Bernie were not on the stage at the same time because they wanted her, to look like this alternative to Bernie, or that she's also a progressive. But the other side of it is they're doing it all in one night. So there's going to be 12 candidates on the stage. With 12 candidates on the stage, it's going to be very hard to manage. And our debates, I mean, they're a shit show. There's no way to put it delicately. They are political theater. They are an embarrassment to the democratic process. They have been for a long time now. They are cable news's last-ditch effort at maintaining relevancy. That's why they try to make presidential debates private property. They won't let people stream them. They won't let them be accessible to the public because they want them to be their property. They want to have their Super Bowl moment as far as ratings are concerned and get a huge spike for their ratings when they have these debates. This is not conducive to news and information. This is not conducive to democracy. And this shouldn't be legal. The media structure we have in the United States should be illegal. There should be laws protecting citizens from this abortion of a news structure that we have in this country. And Tulsi Gabbard's pointing out some of that. All right, so Tulsi Gabbard's considering boycotting. Here's what she has to say.
Thank all of you so much for your support. I need to share something with you that's very important. There are so many of you who I've had the opportunity to meet in Iowa and New Hampshire who've expressed to me how frustrated you are that the DNC and the corporate media are essentially trying to usurp your role as voters in choosing who our Democratic nominee will be.
Which they did in 2016.
And I'm sure that all of our supporters throughout the country do as well. Now, the 2016 Democratic primary election was rigged.
Yep.
The DNC and their partners in the corporate media
Yep.
against Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
In this 2020 election, the DNC and the corporate media are rigging the election again, but this time it's against the American people in the early voting states of Iowa, New Hampshire, South.
So it was also against the American people the first time. Just a small, small observation. It was still against the American people the first time because the American people wanted Bernie Sanders and were denied that. But I see what she's saying. All right, let's continue.
Carolina, Nevada. They're attempting to replace the roles of voters in the early states using polling and other arbitrary methods, which are not transparent or democratic. rather commercialized reality television meant to entertain rather than to inform or enlighten. So in short, the DNC and the corporate media are trying to hijack the entire election process. So in order to bring attention to this serious threat to our democracy and to ensure that your voice is heard, I'm seriously considering boycotting the next debate on October 15th. I'm going to announce my decision within the next few days. I just want to say with my deepest and warmest aloha, thank you all again for your support.
So, all the points that she raises, I completely agree with. And everything she raised, this is nothing new. Like it's not like, oh, all of a sudden the DNC started being corrupt in 2016. No, the DNC has been corrupt for a long time. The corporate media has been corrupt for a long time. Our corporate media structure has no business being in news and information. You look at our cable networks, Comcast has no business being in news and information. Time Warner has no business being in news and information. Rupert Murdoch has no business being in news and information. And that's who runs our media. Even over on the public side of it, NPR gets funding from the Koch brothers. Our media structure, again, there should be policies and laws in place so that this isn't legal. Other countries, they do have laws. They do have laws related to who can advertise on news and information, or if there's advertising at all. In a lot of cases, news and information is completely commercial free, which is the way it ought to be. It ought to be funded and properly funded by government agencies to ensure a free and democratic press, not to just have a completely deregulated corporate takeover of news and information, because then you get propaganda for the elite, which is what our news structure is. It is propaganda for the elite. We do not have news organizations. We have PR organizations. Tulsi knows this, and she's pointing it out. Now, so again, I agree with all the points she's raising. I disagree with the idea of boycotting the debate if you are her. And I hope she chooses not to boycott the debate. I think the most useful thing she could do is beyond that debate stage. Because Tulsi Gabbard is not, like an activist in this sense. She's not a media activist. She's a candidate. She's in electoral politics. That's the side of the fence that she is on. That's the side of the fence that Bernie Sanders is on. That's the side of the fence that Liz Warren is on. And when you're an official and you boycott something, in this, for instance, you're not reaching any new people. You're not converting anybody or turning people on to your ideas or your messages. You're just kind of preaching to the choir of people who already agree with the issues you're raising. I agree with all the issues she raised. I agree with everything she said in that statement. I certainly disagree with the idea of her boycotting the debate. I think that'd be the wrong thing to do. Just like I think it's wrong for Liz Warren to say she's not going to go on Fox News. It's a similar premise. Fox News is terrible. It shouldn't be able to exist the way it does in our media structure. It's not a news outlet at all. That being said, unfortunately, this is the media structure we have. And if you're a politician, you can't just ignore a major news outlet. Similarly, if you and Tulsi Gabbard, yeah, these debates are circuses. But Tulsi Gabbard is one of the people up there who has had a few good speaking moments, who had a great moment with Kamala Harris where she, that was beautiful. So I think it's the idea of her boycotting the debates, I find to be very counterproductive. I think in that case, you're not proving anything. I think that elected officials, that's not a good course of action for them. A better course of action would be to go on the debate stage and raise that issue. Raise it in your opening and closing statement. Be like, hey, you know what? It's BS that this is considered the private property of some for-profit corporate news entity. And it's BS that there's 12 of us on this stage and you have these ridiculous rules. But let's be honest, some people get more mic time than others. Some people, Kamala Harris, they will never cut her off. Liz Warren, they will never cut her off. Andrew Yang, it's unbelievable how little speaking time they gave that guy. And then people hijacked Yang's time and they did nothing about it. Like there were times where Yang's time was hijacked. And keep in mind, I don't agree with Andrew Yang on a lot. I don't want to see him be the nominee. I disagree with him on a lot. I agree with him on some. He does have some cool ideas too, but he has a lot of ideas that I strongly disagree with. But nonetheless, he should be up there. He should be given a fair shot, and he should be able to express his ideas. People hijacked his time. Nothing was done about it. Nothing. The moderators just sat there. So they got their favorites, and it's a circus. But someone like a Tulsi Gabbard, the energy would be better spent being on that debate stage and trying to get that word in edgewise versus not being on that debate stage. So I sincerely hope Tulsi does not boycott the debates. And I think it's, I mean, all the issues she raises are important issues, but to then say I might boycott the debates, well, I disagree with that. I don't think that's the way to go at all. And I hope she goes, I hope she decides not to boycott the debate and instead raises that issue at the debate. Let me know in the chat. We got one more story, and then I'll go to the chat to end the week here. But let me know in the chat what you guys think about that and other issues. So this was shared by No Middle Ground on Twitter. So thank you for sharing this No Middle Ground on Twitter. And this is a very Get Your News On with Ron friendly story, if you will. This is some action by Comcast. You know, we did a municipal broadband story yesterday that really inspired me to try to, reinvigorate the battle for net neutrality where I live here in Pasadena, California. I found out today, by the way, that our next city council meeting is canceled. So I was going to try to go Monday. City council meeting's canceled. So, yeah, I got to figure out the right course of action here. So I'm working on that to try to get municipal broadband, which is basically city-owned internet in my country. I do want it in the entire country, but I got to start in my community. You know, I think you got to start locally. But here's another reason why we need it. Comcast incorrectly charged 2,000 customers for exceeding their data cap. Comcast issues refunds after software bug caused inaccurate data meter readings. Comcast data usage meter gave thousands of customers inaccurate readings for 2 months. 2 months this went on for because of a software bug, causing the broadband provider to incorrectly charge about 2,000 users for exceeding their monthly data caps. Comcast has admitted the error and told ours it is giving refunds and additional credits of $50 each to customers who paid data overage fees that shouldn't have been assessed. Oh, and I bet it's been really easy to get these fees back. I bet Comcast made it so easy for everybody. Hey, this is Comcast customer service. How can I help you? Hey, I think I was overcharged. Okay, we're going to transfer you to the overcharge line. Boop. Overcharge line. Hi, this is Comcast. Go fuck yourself. Oops, we accidentally got disconnected. You call back. You go through the motion a couple dozen more times. The customer service is absolutely atrocious at Comcast because they contract most of that stuff out. They are one of the worst companies, arguably the worst company in the country. They win awards for being the worst company to deal with, one of the worst companies to work for. And it's not the employees at the bottom. It's not their fault. They're mistreated. They're overworked and underpaid. And they basically have to do corrupt things. They're basically forced to do corrupt things to keep their jobs. Just like when everything went down with Wells Fargo, those call center people were trained to open these accounts without telling people. They were opening bank accounts without telling people. They were doing that at Wells Fargo. They were required to do that. And then when they got caught, it wasn't the people who made them do this that faced consequences. It was the people at the bottom, the people who were told this is protocol and you're supposed to do this and there's no problem. They lost their jobs, not the people at the top who made them do it. And I'm sure it's a similar thing. 2 months, they didn't have their data correct. This is from the article, we contacted Comcast 2 weeks ago after we heard from a customer in Duluth, Georgia, who found that Comcast was recording major data usage on his account, even when he wasn't using the internet. The customer, Michael, who didn't want his last name published. Michael Motorcycle is his proper name. Supposedly had exceeded his 1 terabyte monthly data cap, but when he unplugged his modem overnight, Comcast recorded another 40 gigabits of usage during a 15-hour stretch in which he couldn't have used any data. You're using the data when you sleep. We call it the thought data. What happens is you're not actually using the internet, but your dreams are a lot like the internet. You know, when you're dreaming, it's like you're surfing, kind of like you're surfing the net sort of in your mind, but it's all limited to your subconscious. People really dig the porn options, by the way. So we're going to charge you for that. We're Comcast. And I bet it was real easy for people to get their refunds. Is this water? Is this vodka? You'll never know. You will never know. Just like you'll never know what data you're actually using if you're a Comcast customer. They are the worst. And you know what? Charlemont, Massachusetts, a city of 7,000 people. They don't have to worry about any of this. You know why? Because they voted to build their own city internet and they booted Comcast out of town. They sent Comcast packing. It can be done. If a city of 7,000 people can do it, other cities can do it too. And I know, well, maybe it's easier when you're smaller. No. It has everything to do with the city gathering, deciding they need it, deciding they want it, and then they build it. The point is that a city can mobilize their resources and get this done. It's not an unaffordable thing. It's an attainable feat. That's why the town of Bandera, Texas is able to offer fiber to the home, some of the best internet you can ask for from an electric co-op that's committed to that. It can be done. We can take our internet infrastructure out of Comcast's hands, out of AT&T's hands. They make it seem like it's some elaborate thing to offer quality internet. It's not. They just half-ass it because their main motive is profit, and they want to price gouge you. So they phone it in because they can get away with that. It's time to not let them get away with it anymore. It's time to build city-owned internet all throughout the country, and you can start right in your own backyard. And that's what we're trying to do with this show. One of the missions of this show is to get municipal internet in Pasadena, where I live, and also provide resources so that other people can get it in their communities. And I know a lot of you are working on it throughout the country, which is amazing. I make sure I reply to every email that I get in general, but especially when people ask about municipal broadband, I send my transcript. If you want to go to a city hall, bring up city-owned internet and municipal broadband, email me, ronplagone.com, email me. I will send you the script that I used at my city council meeting, and you can use it if you want, or get some ideas from it, however you want to do it. So do not wait. If you want to bring city-owned internet to your community and you want to start getting active on that level, email me. I will help you the best I can. Now, keep in mind, I'm fighting my own battle, and I've documented all of it, and I've not won yet. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going, but I've not won yet. We showed up to a city hall with people. We sacked a city hall meeting basically because we showed up with so many people. Still, when we got it on a city agenda, they told us we couldn't afford it. Even though, again, Charlemont, Massachusetts can afford it. Bandera, Texas can afford it. Somehow Pasadena, California can't. They based it off of one case study, Beverly Hills. So it's an uphill battle, but it needs to happen because of nonsense like this. Because of corrupt nonsense that Comcast and similar companies are pulling. So let me see what you guys are saying to end our lovely Thursday here, huh? I hope everyone is having a great week. Shout out to our sponsors, ZT.com, ZHITEA.com. Their T kind of rules. And happy Thursday to you all. By the way, tomorrow we're supposed to have the patrons-only stream. And we're also going to have a couple interviews, but everything is dependent on power. I might not have power tomorrow because some of Southern California is experiencing power outages. I don't know if I'm going to be part of it or not. It seems like I'm likely not going to be, but I don't know for sure. Okay. Dave LH, thank you very much for the super chat contribution. Jimmy Carter boycotted one of the debates in 1980. I didn't know that. It made no impact whatsoever. This is a mistake, Tulsi. We need her on that stage to speak out. I agree. I think, I hope she decides against boycotting. And I think she will. I have a feeling she's not going to boycott, but we'll see. What if Tulsi's not on the same night as Warren? Sparky, thank you very much for the super chat contribution. As far as I know, they're doing it all on one night, unless that changed as of recent. I know that sometimes it changes last minute, but as far as I know, they're doing it all on one night. Last time I checked, that was the case. They announced that they're for sure doing it on one night. Anne-Marie Cunningham, thank you for the Super Chat contribution. Most people won't know if she isn't there, but they will know if she is. I agree. Icy Irony, thank you for the Super Chat contribution. I remember rationing my data for a year to run out my Comcast contract, switched to a slower provider for a while, but well exceeded my old data limits. Yeah, it's terrible. It really is terrible. And who knows, Comcast, even if you were rationing, they might just screw you anyway. So thank you for the Super Chat contributions, Dave LH, Sparky, Anne-Marie Cunningham, Icy Irony. Thank you very much for your Super Chat contributions. If you want to support this show on the sustainability end, please do consider becoming a patron, patreon.com/romplacombe. For a give what you can level, you get all kinds of exclusive content. You get a patrons-only stream once a week. You get dialogues between myself and my cat, Lucy. You get my stand-up album available in its entirety for download. And you get a bunch of fun stuff for a give what you can level. And you help me expand the show. I want to do more guests. I want to have more streams. I'm going to have some guests before this week's over, by the way. So keep your eyes and ears open. I should be on in about an hour from now with Maria Estrada, who was recently assaulted at a meeting here in California, at a Democratic meeting here in California. We're going to get her story, find out what happened. Also, tour dates. I got them. Australia, do not wait. Australia, do not wait. Get your tickets now. Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide. Graham Elwood and myself are coming in November. Get your tickets now. romplacone.com. December, we're going to be doing some stuff in Southern California to get ready for our 2020 tour dates. We're going to be at Ventura Harbor Comedy Club on December 13th. December 14th, we're going to be right here in Los Angeles at the Dojo of Comedy at Sycamore Tavern. Free parking there, by the way. Tickets are available for those shows now. 2020 dates. We are announcing 2020 dates in droves, I tell you, in droves. Here's what's available so far. February 8th, Tucson, Arizona. February 29th, San Francisco, California. March 12th, Orlando, Florida. April 10th, I'll be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. April 24th, Seattle, Washington. April 25th, Portland, Oregon. Those are the tickets that are available right now. Go to romplacone.com, get those tickets. We will be announcing more and more dates for 2020. Guys, it's been another great week. Thank you for being part of this. This has been Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. We'll be back on Monday. And until then, and we'll be back with some interviews, by the way. We got some interviews coming up today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is dependent on if I don't have power, I will tweet out. If for some reason I don't have power tomorrow, which I know is such a weird predicament to be in, but there's some wind issues going on in California. So there's places where the power has been shut off. I think I'm likely not going to be affected, but I might be. So just keep an eye on my Twitter. If I need to cancel any upcoming streams, I will let you know on Twitter. But as long as I have power tomorrow, it'll be business as usual. In the meantime, you know the drill. Lucy says meow. I say peace. Peace.